Seasoned soap makers know that the end of November means that you should have all of your Christmas projects finished up and curing by the time Thanksgiving arrives. But if you want to sneak one more project in that will be ready for Christmas to round off your handmade bath collection, then I have a fantastic project right here. This is a solid sugar scrub made with a hybrid cold process soap and sugar formula. The fully cured bars are solid enough to package and box up, or you can dice them into 2-inch sized cubes and place them into glass jars. They're also soft enough to easily break apart and mold into the palm of your hand, or you could mold them into a washcloth and then use the sugar scrub as a heavy exfoliant. For cottage DIY members who want to cut right to the chase and go straight to the exclusive recipe and tutorial for this project, the link is the first one in the description below. And if you need a quick reference to find this project, from your members dashboard, scroll down to the recipe collection, click on Bath Goodies. Now this is a half cold process soap recipe, but I have it in the category of Bath Goodies where I put all the sugar scrubs, because really this is intended to use as a sugar scrub and not so much of a soap. It just happens to have 40% cold process soap in it. So even though this will lather and it'll wash right off just like a soap, its intended use is as an exfoliant. So click Bath Goodies and then look for the title Solid Sugar Scrub CP Hybrid Method. So you'll see that picture about halfway down the page, look for that title and then click on it, and this will take you to all the content that you're looking for. For everyone else who wants to stay right here and enjoy the show, let's take a closer look into this project and see if it will inspire your creative soapy craft ideas. So when I call this a sugar scrub hybrid, that's exactly what it is. This is a 40% cold process soap recipe blended with a simple 60% oil and sugar combination. Now, how this project holds up, preserves, and feels on your skin is going to primarily depend on the oils in the sugar part of the formula. In my formula, I'm using a combination of shea butter and palm shortening. Both the shea and the palm shortening have a fantastic long shelf life. They're both solid at room temperature, and this is going to help keep the solid sugar bar in its solid state while it's setting up to cure and while it's being handled and used in the bathroom. In the first phase of this project, I'm melting my oils, and I'm going to fold about a half of a 5-pound bag of white granulated sugar into the oil. Now I'm going to carefully mix this until it becomes just a comfortable sandy texture. And finding the right texture, it's not as important as if, say, you're making bath bombs. In fact, if you wanted to, you could just dump all the sugar in, and really if you had a big industrial mixer, it would be just as easy to do that. But instead, I'm working this into a very soft, sandy texture, and that's just because this is going to be easier to get the soap blended in smoothly, so I'll do it in little parts at a time. So once this is mixed up, I'm going to set the oil and the sugar aside, and I'm even going to set this dry bowl of sugar aside because we're still going to need that and come back to it later. And now I'm going to make a small batch of cold processed soap batter. So I'm going to make a very simple, evenly balanced oil profile. Here I have lard, coconut oil, and castor oil, and I chose this combination primarily for the solid oils, the shelf stability, and this is just a simple, evenly balanced formula. Now, if you're familiar with making cold processed soap, then you've probably used this combination dozens of times. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, then you need to learn how to make soap from scratch in order to make this sugar scrub. So right now you will stop what you're doing. You will go over to cottagediy.com and you will register for free, because all of the soap making tutorials are completely free. And there's enough content there that's completely free that will keep you busy for months. You just have to register. And it's really important to properly learn how to make soap the right way before you try this hybrid project, because you really have to be familiar with the safety practices of making soap. It's not that hard. You have no excuses because I have that all organized for you for free. And you just have to keep in mind that making soap is not like a plain sugar scrub, which you may have tried before. It's not like making a bath bomb or, say, a lip gloss. You can't hurt yourself with making any of those things because those recipes don't include any caustic chemicals. Soap making includes basic kitchen chemicals, that need you to have information before you try it at home. So this sugar scrub is an advanced formula, and you need to make sure that you're prepared with the information that you need to keep yourself safe while making this. Now, once my soap starts to come to a light to medium trace, I'm going to start to fold the sugar into the soap and then mix this all well. We'll start off with the soft oil sugar first, and then once we get this blended in nicely and everything's still soft enough, we're going to easily add in what's left of the dry sugar. Mix this well, and then you can add in your fragrance if desired. In this project, I'm going to blend in 1.5 ounces of strawberry fragrance oil. And remember, we started out with 5 pounds of sugar, so even though we made much less soap than a standard recipe, this is going to easily fill a 5-pound mold, or even 2 3-pound molds if you have them. Now in this version, I'm going to split the scrub into 2 parts, and I'm going to color one side pink, and then once that's ready, I'll start transferring this into a mold in really small spoonfuls. If I cut this into 2-inch cubes and then I want those cubes to have a marbled look, then we have to make those colors really tight, so small layers. At this point, this is of course going to start to feel thicker than when you started, but this is never going to firm past a point of really easily working with it, so you can take your time transferring this. There's no rush to move it into the mold like you may have to do with a batch of soap that starts to accelerate quickly on you. So you can blend as many colors as you want, and you can let this set up in a slab mold, or you can push these into little shape molds. You can decorate them however you like. These are ready to cut in about 24 hours, but they'll also be easily sliced a week later or even a month later. So you can let these set up even until you're ready to package them if you want to. The longer you wait, you tend to get more of a crisp edge when you slice into the bars or the cubes. Now these will be cured in just a few weeks. They're never going to completely harden like a bar of soap, as you saw in the demonstration in the beginning. They still are soft. They're firm enough so that they'll hold their integrity in the packaging. But you can easily just pull these apart and break pieces off. So it's something that is going to be ready to use anywhere between 2 weeks or 4 weeks. If you let these sit on your shelf and cure like a regular bar of soap, you're not going to notice much of a difference as if you started to use these after about 2 weeks. Now don't forget, if you have any questions or if you need help working through this project, we have a dedicated forum thread that's directly on the product page that I showed you in the beginning, and that'll help you to directly work through any parts of this project. And of course, comments about this recipe are always welcome. Coming up in our next videos, we have a hair strengthening conditioner, a hair growing rosemary oil infusion, and you don't want to miss out on what we do with some rich, fat-filled avocado puree. So make sure to hit the notification bell so that you're updated on the next project that we post, and I will see you all on Wednesday.